Hey guys, this is Desmatus. We are back for more Payday 2. We are gonna do the Shadow Raid on the Deathwish difficulty. Really, nothing's bad here. Bring it all. This is one where your judge is really gonna shine. It's a lot of damage, and for the Murky Water guards, you're really gonna need it. If you've got your multiple people, you can go ahead and try and dupe those, but otherwise I wouldn't worry about it. You can have two possible locations for the zip line for your loot. Honestly, I prefer Harbor, and if you do happen to have Harbor, I skipped this first grate. It's actually much easier to get out a different route and use that to burn the two furthest grates instead. Usually my approach is not to take the sewer route at all to begin with. I usually just pop that grate open because, well, I'll be funneling loot through there, and it would be a damn shame to have forgotten to do that. But we have got that guard. It's going to take him a few seconds to walk away. So, I will go around and burn that next gate anyways. I usually take the ladder up to the roof and hit the security room as soon as possible. You've got 4 people that you can kill, and I really prefer the security guy to be one of them, at least one of them. Usually you've got to kill stationaries, just because they can cause problems. Like for this guy, if he's not going to move, I may have no choice but to kill him. Looks like I was able to walk past, but I don't like that. That might have to be dealt with, especially since we do have the roof zip line, which means we will be ferrying bags across the roof quite a bit, at least for this second floor. Sometimes as you approach on this second floor, you'll have a gentleman here. It's no good. Sometimes there'll be weapons in this room. It can be in a couple places. You want to watch. Civilians like that can come around the corner when you least expect it. There's also a chance for guards to be literally anywhere. He's going to be in that spot long enough for me to do my business here. So I'm going to pick the door. I almost always pick the side door. Usually, unless there's a guard standing right where I am, this is the right thing to do. You just pop him. Now, you used to be able to leave this guy here. One of the more recent patches, I've actually seen the guards walk into this room, so no more. You actually have to pick him up and take him with you. This kind of ruins the plans of trying to get some of the loot out, but what can you do? This is part of the reason that I was worried with that guard up there. I don't know how I feel about trying to sneak loot past him. Well, loot, let alone this body bag. He damn near saw me when I was running, so let's see how this works. Not too bad. Luckily, this isn't something that I need to take with me. This is a body bag, and it can stay right here. But Green Menace is coming with me. Now that guard down there may or may not have come towards us. He may or may not still be there. He's not there. Alright, this is the spawn, or one of the spawns for a crowbar, is right here. The server can be in one of two places. It's either hanging out with the guard in the camera room, or it's right there along the wall. There can also be a money bag right there. I don't think there's any more loot in that room that I've ever seen. I've seen money bags here, as well as another crowbar in the corner. Thank God that spotter is working his ass off keeping this guy marked. I'm thinking further down the line we will see what our copter has in store for us. We may open this door and the door adjacent and walk around the catwalk with our loot instead of killing this guy. If we get additional guards, that's probably what we'll do. What I like to do, what I feel you need to do, is clear this second floor as your priority. That's what you're doing here right now. You've killed the camera guy, you're clearing second floor. By the time that copter shows up, it should be empty. Let's say you got your 2 guards. Chances are they're going to want to hang out on the roof or in the second floor. At least that's my experience. And if your loot has already all been removed from that area, you are usually good to go. That Coke bag I just took out is, I don't want to say it's always there, but it's there a very large percentage of the time for me. That guard is going to come around. Oh, no, he's headed away. Which is not a bad thing. I don't have a crowbar. I did see one on the floor. By the floor, I mean here on the second floor with me. But it is way out there, and I'm a little worried about getting past that guard. It's a little sketchy to come by these crates. That is the man in the orange jumpsuit. He always has a keycard. Just keep that little feather in your cap. If you ever see him in a nice convenient spot, go ahead and take him, because that's free keycard as long as you've got a body bag to take him out. This is Crowbar. Hi Crowbar, you're coming with me. This is the one I saw earlier. It's looking like that was our guy from this room that is headed along those crates there, hopefully right out of the room. This is one of the few ways that you can use the crate up here, or the key, wow, you can use the crowbar up here. Sometimes it's worth it to use the key card right there. You almost always get a key card. Oh, we've got copter. So I am getting out of here with this Coke. That, I think, is going to be the whole ball of wax for our Floor 2 adventures. I'm not really interested in spending any more time down there. Dangerous. With stationary Stanleys, that's all 3 of their names. They're triplets. Quadruplets, in fact. Look at them all. Basically, they're going to fuck shit up. And they're going to go stand in some really awkward places and ruin some chances for me to get loot. And some of those chances, about 4 of them, right here, tend to be on the second floor, where if you've got one guy anywhere, you are boned. You can't get any more loot off the second floor, and if you were too late, you were too late. I don't want to get past this guy making a big noise, and I don't have the ladder down there, which would be an easy way down. I can very easily do the parkour and jump down on those air conditioners on that side and get back out towards the front. I would almost rather not pick these doors because it does cause the guards to use them. If they're open, the guards' paths will include them, which means there's a higher chance that I'm going to see them. What I'd rather do is wait until I've got more loot in a stationary spot elsewhere or down the vents, and I'll take these across at that point. So, let's head elsewhere. I think what I will do then is head this way. Like I said, there's sometimes a ladder that is right here. There's almost always a stationary guard down there. Yep, there he is. Those air conditioners can be jumped on. I'm not really in the mood to fall and die, so I'm not going to risk it. This guy here, he is in an awkward spot. I don't like that at all. Unfortunately, that is the pathing guy that I was hoping to avoid. What you like to do is have him standing at the end, and you can head up. You can snip through these fences like most of the fences in the game. This door here is closed. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Not too big of a risk here. The guy who would be standing at the bottom of that ladder over there is completely stationary. He's never going to come around the corner and look. If you do happen to have Harbor Zipline, it's going to be over there in the back corner. Now the reason that I prefer that to this, and I want to be careful of our roof guy, is this grate right here can be burned through if it is there. Yes, it is. You can burn through that with your paste instead of burning through the first two. So I burn through this one and the next one back, as opposed to the front two, and then you get all of your loot out this way, and you walk out this way while letting the guard, fuck off. You don't have to worry about killing anyone else. It's just, it's simpler. Sometimes there can be guards that come down and stand stationary in here. There's also just the pathing can lead in here. So I'm going to be extremely careful on these stairs. None of those guys went back up to the roof to get marked, so they are spread throughout. There is one. Don't know what we're dealing with as far as stationary or not. Let's see if I have bought enough time to come back up and use this here. I would really prefer to use this. This is much safer. You can try to go through that way through the floor, but coming through these grates is going to be safer in this case. I did not expect my roof to be that locked down. I just want to get a beat on him before I get too close to the fence there. I do hope he's going to keep coming instead of go back up, which he did. Cool. I think we'll head back this way and see if that guy was stationary. Patience and luck is a lot of Deathwish. So, oh, I see a light. Thank God for those flashlights. If they had taken them out on Deathwish, I probably would have rage quit. I can't tell you how many times that has gotten me on framing frame. Yeah, that guy's stationary. We're not going to be able to get up and out through there. But luckily that stationary is not going to completely cripple us. We can still utilize that first floor once we come up and out of that vent, and there he is. See, that was much quicker than I remember that being. Now depending on how quick he's going to turn around here, usually he'll go to the end. Looks like he's thinking about it though. So I'm going to go ahead and go down. I don't know, some of you guys may have seen the speed run of this. The way that they make use of that is that there's technically 4 sectors of this map. At least I would classify them the sectors of the map, and there's usually at least 4 pieces of loot in those 4 sectors. So there's the first floor of the warehouse, there's the second floor of the warehouse, there is the crate area of the warehouse over there, and as you can see here, there's this weapons. They're almost always there. I'm going to take those with me. Gage likes bullets. This crate is almost always here as well. Crates have a random chance to be just about anything. I'd really like to see the desync where you get all the loot in the crate. That'd be. I've never seen it. I know you can't actually pick it up. Alright, so as you can see with this metal shelf, there is some coke here. That is pretty common. That's all over the place. You just got to keep an eye out for it. The coke is pretty common. So I'm going to poke my head out here. Oh, that's not a bad stationary either, but unfortunately if he's stationary, that crate is off limits, which is no good. If I did not already have one, there, right behind that guy on the crate, is always a crowbar. So if you need one, and you don't have stationary Stanley. So this is the warehouse portion. You may recognize those doors. Those are the same doors up top. So basically what you're doing here is you're cracking open the crates and you're looking for loot. It's pretty simple. There is actually a stairway right there. It loops across, and about halfway down it meets ground floor at like kind of a half level there underneath the second floor level. But basically you can also use, I mean really it's up to you and it's up to the spawns. If you get some really unfortunate pathing and you've got a bunch of stationaries, or you've got a guy in your way and you can't get back to where you want to drop your loot, you can always come back here. You can always sneak up those stairs, take the catwalk out that door, and utilize the zip line there. We've got that guy coming this way. I think I'm going to try to go forward into the break room, since that's where he came from. I've seen coke in a few places in here, usually that locker and this locker. Oh, somebody's over there. Love those flashlights. Okay, that might be that stationary guy. Oh goodness. So we are getting a little pincered, which is not too big of a deal. Just have to stay careful. Careful is king on Deathwish. Yeah, I might be able to kill one of those guys, but what is the chances of me killing one without another seeing? Haha, zilch. So be careful. I have seen money bags there. I have seen money bags there. Those are very rare, but I have seen them. They do exist. Gold bullion. I never get tired of seeing it either. Hey. So you'll come across some heavy bags as you're doing the shadow raid. You just have to be extra careful while you're carrying the heavy bags, because obviously it takes you longer. You have the movement impairment. Can't stress the careful enough. These are the painting crates. You can find another one on the second floor there, next to those windows, and another one leaning on the crates. There's also the possibility of one being within the close cage to the stairs on the second floor. You can actually, by standing, I'll show y'all in a bit what I mean. So I believe I've got 4 from this part of the map, but this is actually one of the more abundant sources of loot. This is where you get, your 13th, 14th, 15th bags. Artifact. So this is the spawn of the devil as far as this map is concerned. It's worth $1 million now, so it's definitely worth getting back to the van. But this right here is your time vampires. These will take your solo stealth jobs from 10 minutes on, your simple one-day jobs like nightclub, which you can get done in about 10 minutes. You can take that and you can quadruple it with your artifacts. Like I said, it's a lot of money, but it's a lot of time. This will probably end up being about a 45-minute video. If I do not speed up the loot moving process, which for y'all's sake I will. I don't want you guys to have to watch me move loot. It's kind of boring. So this guy, if you can get very, very lucky and you can get yellow hat, orange jumpsuit, right about there, and you've got your key card on you, and you can kill him there and bag his body and get him out safely, you can use the keypad. Hello. So we got another guy. He went up the stairs. You can use the keypad, run back to that spot, run back to the keypad, and get both. Open the vault yourself. So that right there, this is the keycard spawn location that you need to get that done. I do not trust getting that crate. That stationary guy is going to see. That's no good. So let's see what we got here. Oh, money. So I'm not so concerned about how much the loot is going to be. I probably will be able to actually sneak past him with this. Very nice. I could definitely go up the roofway, but I'm already going to have to pick that door to get past him with the loot that's up there on the second floor still. So alright, I'm willing to call that good. There's the chance for a good bit more in this part of the map. You can also have a couple bags in the cages. Same is true for the second floor. I'm not really waiting for drills though. It's not really doable with the stationary guards the way they are. If I had gotten lucky and instead I had gotten a crate instead of additional guards, I might have the leeway to do that down here, but I just don't. So I'm not going to waste my time and fail. Right there on that shelf is the possibility of a weapon spawn, so just be mindful of that. In the basement on one of those crates, I've actually never seen it, but I've played with a couple people who have, and there is a crate that you can get, or not a crate, excuse me, there's a bag of Coke that you can get down there. I am going to speed this up for you guys, but I'm going to pull a band-aid here, and I'm going out to the crate area. But I'm going to pull the band-aid of this artifact and take it with me. So, enjoy watching me bounce. So, yep, 1 million. Artifacts are 1 million now. Definitely worth it. Alright, we've got loot sitting, waiting for us. So let's head over to what I consider to be probably the most volatile area. That's the crates. So what are we looking for over here? The rest of the, it's pretty obvious. We are looking for stuff, loot. It's just hanging out. Over here, we're very clearly looking for the murky water containers. As Bane talks about, it's our best bet for the loot. There's actually very few. There's like no loot in this. I mean, it'll be probably 3 money bags, and it'll only be money bags. It's always money bags. But we're looking for the red ones. There's one there, one there. There's one there. There's usually one on the other side there, around the corner. There is one underneath here. There's one usually right there out of view. I'm not going to try and jump across. I'll be within view of some asshole's Hawkeyes. So I'm going to jump on the air conditioner here and head down. Yep, there's 2. One there, one there. So there's really only one safe way to get across. You gotta jump. But from there, you can fall down on either side safely. It really depends on the guards around you. So really what you want to do here is first identify your additional loot drop point, which is right there. Then you want to get inside of a crate and kind of get your bearings. Recognize, is this one where I'm going to be able to utilize both sides being open, or should I keep one side open so that I've got a little bit of cover? There's no point where I can get between guards and anything in this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop the other side. This will give me kind of a good way to see both sides here. The spotter has his worst view kind of on this side here. One thing to make note of is, yes, my loot drop point is over there. If I toss it over in that direction, it goes right in. But at the same time, this is the loot van. So, you know, which closer is closer for you? You know, I mean, it's up to you. Another money bag. And I have seen some weird desync issues where that guard will sometimes see it. I will, you know, if you toss the bag through too far and it hits the over there, he's going to see that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the loot in the car instead of risking. It's not that far of a run back. The crates over here, like I said, with them being the most volatile, that's not really true. They're all the same level of validity, and really, in there, it's worse, I would say, because you've got your Deathwish style guards that actually have the additional health that you've got to. I mean, if you alert one of them, you got to freak out. You got to empty your clip, and you got to make sure they're dead. And if something else comes up immediately, you're going to have an even worse time. And on this map, that's one thing you've just got to expect, is where you see one, there's three right behind it. Alright, with this top crate here, you've got to kind of waylay your way over to it. You do a little dance on the crates. Ooh. Oh, there's our stationary Stanley. Oh. I don't think anybody sees you. So I'm going to take you with me. So what I can do now, as a result of that, is I can come back and use that key card that he dropped to open one of those cages, which will be nice. There will be at least one loot in there. And a money bag in here. So, unfortunately those crates aren't positioned where I can really use that spot, so I'm going to get rid of this person instead of risking keeping him around upstairs or in a crate. Guards just will never look down there, so that's your safe spot. Always, always, always down there. And unlike the loot, I'm not coming back for that body, so I don't care that I dropped down the last vent. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Looking at 4 or 5 this time, just with the money bags out here. I haven't even gotten to waylay yet. So in this case, you toss the bag over. Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. If you miss and it lands on the edge, if you miss and it hits that, if you miss and it falls back, and there's a guard here, there's a guard there, there's a guard, you know, that guy looking at here, he's going to see you throw that bag. He might see it through the wall when it lands on the other side. I've seen it happen. Desync sucks. Even when you're alone, I've seen that happen. So, for this one, your goal here is to jump across like this. You hit the other side, you open up your crate, jump back, and jump back in. This is another one of those spots. This is almost always a crowbar. So if you're doing this with a bunch of people and you're the guy whose job it is to come this way, you're probably going to find that crowbar. Enjoy it. Let's get this money bag out too. So with our 5, I'm thinking there were at least 4 down, or there's at least 4 up on the roof, and there's at least 4 down there still. So I'm pretty sure I am good to go. But I am going to continue and see if we can't get a couple more. Although, unfortunately, let's watch out for this guy here. Now, there's a few ways to get back up to the roof from here. They're all pretty reasonable ways to do it. I can either go straight down and across. I'll actually show you guys instead of just talking about it, since I've got some people who are going to be difficult. You can zip line or cut through here and walk down across through. You can use that same method of waiting for that guy, wait for him to come to the end of the harbor and sneak past, get back up, and then you could jump across the roof that way. If that ladder was there behind me, you could utilize that, but it is not this time. There's almost always a ladder there. However, the guard pathing on it can be pretty horrid. You can get very, very unlucky, and it's not good. Or it can be not good anyways. We'll see. Don't know that I got to that one. I'd like to if I hadn't. It's looking like these people are going to be difficult for us. Now let's try the other way, just to see how it looks. Maybe we will get lucky. You don't necessarily have to pick that, or zip that, I suppose. The only reason you really would need to is if this guy is here. You are not going to be able to get by without going around all the way. So that's what that's for, to give you that alternate route. Again, it'd be nice to have that ladder there. That ladder is extremely helpful, especially in conjunction with the zip line, which if you have it will be right here. You'll just click the zip line and it'll go across to a boat in the harbor. No guards up there. Even that guy won't see the loot zipping across. It's very, very, very helpful. Much, much more so than the roof, which you've got to put yourself much more at risk. But I suppose you do have to. It's a little bit of a trade-up because you're almost guaranteed to have to kill at least one guard there. Oh, and it looks like he is there. You should have to be careful in case he is coming your way as you leave. So we're back. I am going to go ahead. There's nothing really that I need to do as far as the bottom one, as long as I can make it out again, which I can very easily do one of a few ways. There's nothing to really worry about. So I am going to head across. Now, like I said, I'm not getting loot in front of that guy's face. It's just not going to happen for me as much as I would like it to. So instead of killing him, I'm going to crack this open. I think in the amount of time that it's going to take me to move those 4 bags across the roof, there's not going to be a guard whose path is going to start to include this. Typically, they've got to already be moving and ready to do that. Now, as a side note here, you can actually utilize these beams to jump down on the crates without having to use these catwalks. So, if you think you're completely trapped, I have got a guy who's coming at me from the catwalk. Maybe there's 2 even. I'm done. Well, I'll jump across. The beams might save you. You'll probably take some fall damage, but you'll be okay. So, just out of his line of sight, we are going to get this stuff out of here. Just be very mindful of what's going on the floor. There's 2 spots that you need to watch as you're coming up. That lower catwalk area, if you happen to see a guy, even if it's a civilian coming across there, he may be headed up. And obviously the ground floor there with the stairs. Found plenty of cash out there. Anyways, though, back to, I was talking about the sectors of the map, I guess. Earlier I got cut off by some gameplay. Um, there's really three, not really four, I guess. You can break it down into four if you want to break it into first level and second level in there. But it's the crates outside, the crates in the warehouse here, and then the loot that you can find in the building. There's at least four in those three locations, and with four people, you can kind of divide the building into you get two at least, you get two at least, and any bonuses bonus. But that's the theory behind how you rush the map. That's the theory that I kind of use to gauge when I'm done with an area. Obviously, HoxHUD does as good of a job as it can letting me know where loot is, but it's not perfect, so I'm gonna skip moving these bags for you guys. Nobody likes watching that. I find that with the ladders, your best bet is almost always to be facing down and back into the ladder. Always be backing into the ladder. So inch forward enough to fall, and then just start backing up, and you will be fine. That's typically what I do. It almost always works. I've heard you can also like be standing here and push yourself that way. As long as you start there and you fall back into it, you're fine. But that's the method that works for me. It's just inch forward enough that you can tell that you're on it, and you know it's working because when you start backing up, instead of just backing up, you actually rise a little bit. It's because you're on the ladder. In case anybody is wondering about the jingling and the clacking in the background, the click-clack on the hardwood floors, those are my dogs. I got labs and they're loud as hell, so I apologize for them. Oh, you bastard. Well, don't do what I just did. Be more careful than that. If you stand a little bit more appropriately and you go back for those other loot bags, you can get some more loot. Again, there was more that I could have gotten out of that. I knew where the other keycard was located, so I could have gone in and utilized that on those cages. Unfortunately, it wasn't in a good enough spot for me to open up the vault and take the samurai armor. That's why on this one I think the ECMs are kind of a waste, which is sad. You can get your 12 bags without killing very many people. As you can see, I had stationary Stanleys in some really, really shitty spots. I just acted quickly, and I cleared the nasty spots first, which were the second floor. And I got 3 bags out of that, which overall was not very good. Usually you get more. Usually there's a couple paintings up there. Usually you end up getting in one of the cages, get another couple bags out of that. But that stationary guy kind of took that away from me. So you can get a bunch more bags. I mean, there's a lot you can do with this one. As you can see, it was about 1 million. It took me about 40 minutes though. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a long time, but really it's a lot of fun and it's a lot of EXP. It's a good judge of your stealth skills. I think if you can pull this one off on the Deathwish, you're pretty capable stealther. You can do pretty much everything you need to. This one is one of the ones that really doesn't require too much. The body bags are a plus, but as you can see, I killed one person that time. What really benefited me most was the movement speed stuff. So just kind of weigh your options when you're looking at your skills for what you want to bring for this. As you can see, I didn't even lay a drill down, so my drill perks were useless. I didn't have to ECM anything, so all my ECM skills were useless. It was the bag movement stuff, it was the speed stuff. I guess technically it was Shinobi a little bit, but that's one of those stealth things that you've got to get. But otherwise, I think Shadow Raid is one of those that just tests your ability to move around the guards and really just function in the environment. there's no real skills that you need, I don't think. So anyways, let me know if you guys liked the video. Like, subscribe, and let me know if you have opinions on what's next. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.